Hello, I'm Wen Xin, and today we're going to do our group presentation. We are from Group 8 of OCC1 SIS 1015. So when we talk about drivers, what do you think of? What comes to your mind? Is it the drivers in the car or the drivers in the computer? Well, we're not going to talk about that because we're going to talk about science and technology drivers. So the science and technology driver today we're talking about is bioscience technology, because it's one of the technology using biological processes that we believe that can make impact on social economy development in Malaysia. So are you curious what our topic is now? So here it is. It's about feeding Malaysia, which is agriculture biotechnology. So thank you.
Hello everyone, I am Nadhirah and I will present the details of agriculture biotechnology. So in this presentation, we will use the short term which is agri-biotech. So agriculture sector is one of the highest GDP contributor of Malaysia in 2019. Agriculture encompasses crops, livestock and fisheries. So here are the definition of the agri-biotech. To summarize, agri-biotech is using biotech tools to improve crop and livestock. Next, we're looking through the history of agri-biotech. Agriculture has been practiced for a long time. Over thousands of years, farmers practiced conventional breeding to improve crops by selecting desirable traits. On 1895, Gregor Mendel's significant discovery revolutionized agriculture. In 1920s, scientists applied Mendel's principles to produce hybrid corn. So this is the picture of the hybrid corn. In the early 1990s, farmers start to grow GM crops. Okay, as you can see, this is the flavor saver tomato produced in 1987, and it is the first agricultural biotechnology product developed for humans. Next, we look on how do we apply agricultural biotechnology. So there are a few tools involved in this agri-biotech. The first one is conventional breeding, which we use to in artificial selection. Next, we have tissue culture that we use to cultivate cells on Nutrimedia. The next one, we have marker-assisted selection known as MAS to select plant traits. And the last one is genetic engineering that we use to manipulate and transfer DNA.
Nurfatihah, so I will proceed to current state in Malaysia. As Malaysia has strong foundation for agricultural biotechnology. So agricultural community is supportive toward use of biotechnology. So the current state in Malaysia, the first one, we have National Biosafety Board. Then we have National Biotechnology Policy, NBP. Then we have also the use of GM food. Then we also have GM food recognized by Halal by Jakim. So GM food are currently restricted to research field. To date, no GM crops are commercially produced yet, but GM food are imported. Next. So basically, why we choose agricultural biotechnology? So well, there is a lot of benefit. The first one is food security. Second one, protect crops for devastating diseases. Portable farming by increasing crop quality, and safer, easier insect, pest control, and weight management. So basically, when we improve taste, texture and appearance of food, reduce dependence on fertilizers and other agrochemicals. Next aspect, there is three main aspects of benefits. The first one is environmental health, social, economic equity, and the last one is economic portability.
Wow, hi, I'm Wen Xin. So after learning the benefits, can you imagine life without agri-biotech? So is it even possible? Well, you think about it, agri-biotech feeds humanity as we all eat genetic engineered food. Well, you simply can't say you can't eat it before because we eat many modified staple products such as maybe soybeans, corns, and so on. So in fact, we can conclude that modern humanity could not exist without biotechnology. You may picture the importance. So next, to enhance the competitiveness of the sector, biotechnology should be fully utilized with full support from stakeholders. So we should implement agricultural bioscience technology. So with roles with like the government ministries, they should be involved because they play roles in the development of the agriculture like they allocate funds in R&D. So next, agencies such as Mohd, AB, Marbake, they conduct research and they collab with ministries. So next, we have universities involved too, like public universities and private universities, as they produce human capital, conduct research for the growth in agriculture sector. Next, we have many industries involved. Like the first one, we have food industry, then we have palm oil industry, then we have agriculture industry, and lastly, we have herbal industry and pharmaceutical industry for the production of medicine. Let's see an example about rice and agri-biotechnology. So rice is an essential staple in to Malaysians, and as a country with food culture, can you name a few common rice dishes? Will you think about these? Which is all related to our daily lives. So next, let's have a guess about our annual rice consumption. Do you know what is it? Okay, let's see. Wow, it is. Yeah, that's so much. 2.7 million tons per year. So with agriculture, biotechnology increase rice production, and we can reduce reliance on imports and sustain to the demands. We need many biotechnology tools to improve our production to sustain the demand. Like the next example we see is the IS21 paddy seed. It was an innovation by the government, and it using mutation breeding technology, it has better resistance and could increase crop yield.
Thank you, Wen Xin. Hi, I'm Dharshini. Will be presenting on sustainable development. Sustainable development that meets the needs of present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. There are 5 key principles, which is known as 5P. First of all, prosperity, increase the productivity, employment, and value addition in food systems. Next is planet, protect and enhance natural resources. Thirdly, peace, improve livelihoods and foster inclusive economic growth. Next, people, enhance the resilience of people, communication, and ecosystem. Lastly, partnership, adapt, and governance to new challenges. So we took an example from Netherlands that play a role in sustainable development. So in Netherlands, government, agencies, and industry were aligned to produce tomatoes grown in high-tech greenhouses. How does these high-tech greenhouses work? They work in geothermal energy that heats the greenhouse. Besides, hydroponics system uses less water and no pesticides were used. Tomatoes are grown in high-tech greenhouse to produce higher yield, less space, and fewer resources. By practicing sustainable agriculture, Netherlands in the second largest world to produce exporters. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Dharshini. Hi, I'm Luthfi, and today I will be explaining about the challenges and implementation of agri-biotech. So there are a few challenges on implementation of agri-biotech in Malaysia. Why do you think that is? Well, to put it in perspective, the first challenge that is encountered in Malaysia's research capacity. There are a shortage of funds, and there is limited employment of skilled workers with academic background in biotechnology in public and private sectors. Another issue that's brought up frequently are ethical practices. Genetic modification is said to be an unnatural act because it involves human intervention into creation, basically playing God. And there's a general welfare and sustainability issue where whether the technology considers the pursuit of the greatest good together with the concept of sustainability for farmers and the environment. Also, public engagement. Based on surveys, public awareness and perception towards agricultural biotechnology products are generally low, and the interest of research, science communication is often less involved. And lastly, there's an issue with regulatory framework. There's an unclear policy where Malaysia has yet to pass the biosafety bill that allows the commercialization of GMOs, which implies that the use of GM plants for producing profitable products are yet to be approved. And there's a lack of freedom to operate in the field of agricultural biotechnology, which pushes back investors. Thank you.
So hello everyone, I am Bimo. So now we are coming to the solutions. So what can be done to overcome the challenges? So in research capacity, there are a few solutions like to create employment opportunities, to allocate funds for research and development, to reduce limitations of employment for biotechnology in public and private sectors, and to improve the quality of education in biotechnological fields. Second is for ethical issues. So understanding of ethics determines information needed by society and how to deal with different opinions. A process of negotiation based on trust is essential to enable stakeholders to participate in debates and decision making. And the third one, for public engagement, there's for solutions is to promote biotechnology education among all key stakeholders, and science communicators should be actively engaged in universities and research institutes so that research news can reach the public domain. And the last one, for regulatory framework, is to pass the biosafety bill, which would allow commercialization of GM products, and to allow investors to consider in investing for biotech-based companies. Thank you.
As Bill Gates noted, investments in agriculture are the best weapons against hunger and poverty, and they have made life better for billions of people. Hi, I'm Devin Dwithama, and now I will explain the future prospects of biotechnology. Biotechnology in agriculture is growing fast. Various tools have been utilized since modern era to improve agriculture. Although the future may be unpredictable, the exponential expansion of emerging technologies allows us to envisage many projects. Next. Now, looking into the blueprint of Industrial Revolution 4.0, we can anticipate using agribiotech to establish smart farming systems with sophisticated technologies and advanced infrastructure. Furthermore, modern infrastructure reduces labor work and shifts to more technology, which increases youth involvement. And for information, to this day, only 15% of Malaysia's youth population are in agricultural sector. Next, it also raises GDP and reduces reliance on imports. And agritourism will be a new source of income. And lastly, data analytics build up an effective supply and demand system to stabilize prices of agricultural products. Next. To summarize, agribiotech allow farms to be more profitable, efficient, safe, and sustainable. And the innovation of technological advancement will allow farmers to produce products at a lower cost, but at a better quality. And the conclusion is, all key stakeholders should have the vision to cooperate and support development of agricultural biotechnology. Application of various biotechnology tools can seek for a sustainable development with the goal of high production with lesser input in modern agriculture. And lastly, Malaysia should consider bioscience technology as a crucial driver to gain competitiveness of the agricultural sector. And thank you for watching our presentation.
Thank you. Beat minds, stay engaged.
Ooh.